start riding over there to help out. 500 South LaSalle for the person stabbed on the blue line.
391, hold me going over there.
91, I got you rolling. 7301 Sam, let me know if you see him. They're saying he is on the platform. It should be a male Hispanic with a green shirt and black pants.
Okay, sorry, yeah, we got full monitor. What was the description again?
Victim should be wearing a green shirt and black pants. They're advising he got off the train and now he's on the platform, so a train sounds like it may be a crime scene.
Force Squad, yeah, I got a person wearing, looks like a male Hispanic, green shirt, looks like beige pants maybe, and white shoes.
Beige pants, white shoes. Is it a pair of bona fides?
By the armpit, you said?
Yeah, they said neck and armpit.
There's a big grab in his armpit. I don't see any blood though.
Alright, that part.
What's in my chance?
No better info at all.
350, something going that way.
7350, 10-4.
391, do they have a train stopped over there?
7301 Sam, is the train stopped over there?
Forest Park train stopped right now.
Alright, a westbound Forest Park bound train is stopped there.
It occurred on the train, so we can get a hold that train. Figure out.
Yeah, 10-4, we'll give CTA a call.
313.
6313.
Can you show us heading to Central D instead?
Alright, we're gonna go to Central D with one female at 1932 hours.
01 Sam.
Go ahead, Owen Sam.
Which train he came off with? That Forest Park train just took off right now. I think that was the train he was on.
Alright, we're still on hold with CTA trying to work it out.
And once they find out if they have it stopped at another location, let us know. We'll send the car there to locate a crime scene if there's one.
Alright, 10-4.
Rolling into Clinton right now. We're here with it. We'll hold it.
Excellent, thank you. Alright, we're gonna have one of the special units holding at Clinton, okay?
Nice. Can they see if they could locate a car?
Yeah, 89 boy. Unfortunately, I don't have any car number to give you, but if you can maybe just start doing a little look through.
88 Adam.
788 Adam.
We need that number of the line. Jefferson Park.
Yeah, that is 11956.
7391 Charlie.
91 Charlie. 91 Charlie, go ahead.
Just get number for 80 now at Roosevelt Green.
Alright, 10-4, that is 11970. And PH3.
388.
788.
Apologize, I kept missing the platform with that incident on.
So it started, he got off at LaSalle. The first tickets indicated that it happened on the train, and he got off onto the platform on LaSalle. Train continued to Clinton, where 7389 Boy has it. We just spoke with CTA, and they're requesting if we can move it to the Morgan middle, where there's like those extra tracks there, so they can continue blue line traffic. And 7391, is that okay?
Did we confirm that's the one with the crime scene on it?
7389 Boy. 89 Boy, did you find a crime scene on that train?
They're saying that it's train car number 7188, but we do not see any blood at this time.
Alright, 7391 Sam, good.
Car behind that one.
Okay, check the car right behind that one, 89 Boy.
Car. We'll stay with this car to the Morgan stop, and we'll stay with this till someone comes. That car number squad is 7128. 7128.
Alright, and there is a crime scene there? Alright, car 7128, 89 Boy says they're going to stay with it until they get to Morgan.
301 Sam.
Go ahead.
They have stuff in that car?
789, boy, can you advise if you do have a crime scene in that car?
This other car, there's no blood in here either.
Alright, they're advising no blood in the cars. They are advising that it is bona fide. They have made contact with them over there, the first district.
Adam.
7330, Adam.
Did I get a check at 95th Red Line upper?
Yeah, that is 12013. 7391, good.
As a victim here, and C-Fan player is saying that it happened on the platform over here, and the suspect ran out of the platform eastbound, male black with a black hoodie. No, hoodie, blue jeans, and some type of like COVID mask on. Male black.
Alright, we're looking for a male black hoodie, blue jeans, wearing a COVID mask. He ran out of the station. Crime scene is going to be on the platform. The victim is advised it happened on the platform. 7391, can I have 89 boy then release that train car?
10-4, we heard it happened on the platform, so there's no reason to hold the train, is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct. 7391, are you okay with them releasing it?
Just give me 1 minute when I put out the platform to confirm, and then the other the gray hoodie.
Give me a gray hoodie. Alright, gray hoodie. Alright, number 89 boy, he says just wait 1 second, he's checking the platform, okay?
Copy that, we'll hold the train until directed otherwise.
Thank you.
85 Henry.
85 minutes.
Put a bed number for Addison Red Line, please.
Yeah, 12024.
One Sam.
721 Sam.
Confirm that that possible offender, since they have a gray hoodie, he has like a number on the chest area, number 24, blue jeans and black shoes.
Alright, 10-4. He's going to be a gray hoodie with the number 24 on the chest, blue jeans, and black shoes. And again, he had some sort of like a code mask on. 85 David, go ahead.
They have a VIN number, 79 to the red line platform.
Yeah, that is 12037.
391, there's no cameras, I can't locate a crime scene on the platform. Can you check with the room, see if they can locate cameras, backtrack a little bit?
Alright, 731 Sam.
Doesn't look like it happened on the platform. It looks like he comes already out the train, already grabbing his armpit on car 7188.
Alright, 7-0 Sam is advising that when he got off the train, he was already grabbing his armpit from car number 7188.
So let's not release that train. They can move it to the yard.
Alright, 10-4. 739, boy.
Boy?
Yeah, we're going to need you to hold it. Can you ride it over to Morgan on the side track, and I'll work on getting a crime scene car to head over there for you.
I copy that. 10-4.
Thank you.
385 Frank.
785 Frank.
Can you get a event number for 63 Red Line?
Yeah, 10-4. That's 12059.
385 boy.
I'm sorry, what unit?
7385 boy. Event number for 95th in the red line stop.
Alright, for the south end, it's going to be 12062. 12062.
73, 85 Eddie.
85 Eddie.
Same red line.
Alright, take 12069. 12069.
35 Ida.
85 Ida.
35th Street red line, please.
Alright, it's 12075. 12075.
74, thank you, sir.
I'm sorry, what unit?
383 Adam.
83 Adam.
At the red line, north end, thank you.
Alright, for the north end, it's 12080. 12080.
389 Adam.
Sorry, 213.
389 Adam.
89 Adam.
Coming for a train ride eastbound from the Illinois Medical District to Jackson.
Yeah, 10-4. That's 12089.
89 boys.
89 boy.
We just talked to CTA and he said they're not going to move it from Morgan, so the car's going to, the train car's going to be sitting here at Clinton.
Oh, okay. Alright, 7391, just be advised they're going to keep the train car at Clinton.
89 boy squad. Also, is there a B car someone that could sit on this crime scene for us?
Yep, I just talked to Zone 4 about that. They are working on it. Don't worry, I haven't forgotten about you.
Alright, copy that. Thank you. 383 Frank.
83 Frank.
Number for making a red line, please.
Alright, Cermatic Red is 12106. 12106.
John.
85 John.
Why can I get a red line show Cermatic?
Cermatic is 12110. 12110.
230 Adam.
7330 Adam.
29th and red, upper.
Page 12112. 12112.
312.
6313.
Landed 152 miles.
1947 on the clock.
385 Charlie.
785 Charlie.
Get a van number for red line at 87.
Yes, sir. That is 12134.
Bad car accident there. Rammed his front end in there. See that?
387 Adam.
We're going to see the sunset, by the way.
Squad, 79th and normal westbound. Bus number 7950. Could I have the VIN number, please?
Yep, that is going to give you 12139. Alright, 7389 boy.
89 boy.
114 is en route to take over crime scene.
Oh, that's excellent. Thank you, squad.
Yep, no problem.
Boy.
Go ahead.
What is the event number for that stabbing?
11880. 11880.
Thank you. Am I ready?
I'm ready.
So, can you run this Illinois driver license for me?
Yeah, good.
That 6 man in the red line. It's going to be Robert 534-8839-0147. Boy.
Go ahead.
What is the event number for that stabbing?
11880. 11880.
Thank you. Am I ready?
I'm ready.
So, can you run this Illinois driver license for me?
Yeah, good.
That 6 man in the red line. It's going to be Robert 534-8839-0147.
You clear, copy.
Second.
6317.
6317.
US 5370 and tagging the event for a foot pursuit.
boys.
Alright, 6317, yeah, it's going to be 12211. 12211. I'm sorry, 85, who coming in?
85 boys. What is the event number 96 and line north?
85 boy, your event number 12219. Other unit coming in, good?
C385 Eddie, you go ahead.
Alright, Eddie, he's got a valid temporary driver's license, and he's got a warrant for possession of a weapon. Or I should say, conditional release violation. Original charge was possession of a weapon, and has been denied a FOID card.
What question? We get a transport over here?
Yep, 10-4.
7385 Charlie.
735 Charlie.
That number for red line in the off the street.
Yeah, that's 12251.
7385 Frank.
85 Frank.
We have numbers for the 63rd Street red line, please.
Yeah, that's 12255. Yeah, 12255. 12255. All right, 785 Eddie, you have 732 en route for your transport.
7330 Adam. Can I get the event number for that?
Yeah, 7330 Adam. The event number is 12195. 12195.
85 Ida.
85 Ida.
Get a lower platform check for 35th Street red line, please.
Yep, that is 12269. 7363.
Let's get a pickup Jackson in the blue.
Yep, that is 12306.
Let's do 385 George.
785 George.
Help us with 56 on the red line.
Yeah, that's 12311.
83 Charlie.
78 Charlie.
69 on the red.
Yep, that is 12330.
385 David.
785 David.
We get a VIN number off of platform 79 on the red line.
Yep, that is 12358.
Genesis 15 Citywide, given a person with an I-906 North Laramie for a female black coat pajama pants that is holding a box cutter and crying outside of the further so.
Oh man, that sunset's setting, man. We gotta stop. We can't drive no more.
Someone keeps hitting their key. 13, you got cut out. I'm sorry, go again.
Those of you new to our broadcast, we actually do the sunset every night. We're missing it tonight. We're a little late because of that stabbing call. So we try to stop somewhere and then we listen to some like meditation music. Hopefully we don't get kicked out of here. Last time we were here, they kicked us out. So we stop, we watch the sunset for a little while, we calm down and we continue our road. So those of you who don't like to meditate and you don't like the sunset, well, go find something else to do, because that's about what we're going to do. We just sit there for a half hour. Sometimes we do it for an hour. I don't know. Sometimes we fall asleep. You know, that's what happens. But there you go. There's the sunset. There you go. And you got my secret spot where I'm at, right? There you go. How about that? There you go. There's the sunset for you if you haven't seen it tonight. There you go. And then I'll put on some music. There you go. There you go. That's the sunset for you. Enjoy. And we'll switch it from the radio calls to sunset music, right? Try to relax for today. Try to have a time. Sunset tonight is 8:21, I believe. All right, enjoy. Let's find some music here. Last night we were a little upbeat music, so we'll see what we do play tonight. Hopefully we don't get... TikTok, this is the first time I'm doing a sunset video, so I don't know how it's going to work out for TikTok. If they're going to block my music or what. I know Facebook does, but I found I find music that's, I use AI music. That's what I use, right? Let's see. Soft trumpet jazz. You guys want to do soft trumpet jazz tonight? Let's try it out. Let's see if we get blocked. Again, like I said, I don't know what's going to happen on TikTok. If they block me, they block me, right? I don't know. That is what it is. Let's see how this music goes, right? And if they kick us out of here, they kick us out. So enjoy the sunset. 8:21. Yeah, turn it out. Sorry about that. That was my fault.
So we had to pick up over at Roosevelt and the rest.
And we'll go back to the music. I'm practicing. I got a new phone, so I have to practice with the new phone. Enjoy. funny. I just got a warning from TikTok that I gotta move my camera around. That was weird. There, I'm moving my camera around. I don't get that. That's weird. So TikTok, you have to move your camera. They said, or I'll be ineligible to do live feeding. So there you go. There, I'm live feeding on Facebook there. The music is that. That's what you listen to. And there's the sunset. I guess I gotta move it around, right? I don't know, man. That's kind of weird. Whatever. TikTok, baby. It is what it is. Each one has its own rules, right? There you go. Is that good enough for your TikTok? Did I move the camera around a little bit? I got some chicken nuggets here, man. I'm gonna eat those chicken nuggets I got right in this bag there. Let me show you this. I got chicken nuggets. I usually don't talk. Darn these. I got chicken nuggets. I got coffee. I got all kinds of stuff in here, man. Alright, let's see if I get banned from TikTok. If I get banned, I get banned. It won't be the first time. Whatever. See you later, TikTok. That's your thing, man. Hey, man. The orange paper clip rule. All right. I'll explain that to you one day. Sorry. Oh, whatever, man. TikTok. TikTok says I gotta move the camera every so often. They say it can't be. How about I do that? It's important to take time out of the day a little bit to relax your brain and your soul. See, I'm gonna eat some nuggets right there. See, nuggets? I just filled that up with some tea. Got my other camera right there. I do posting with that. I do downloading with that. I listen to music with that. Then I live feed with that. And this is my police radio right there.
Frequency mode.
Right there. See that? So I got 1, 2, 3, and the one you're seeing is 4. I'm probably gonna get a 5th one. I do 5 live feeds at once. I'm gonna try it. We'll see how it works out. I've been live feeding for about 15 years, almost now. My original live feed on Facebook got cut off. With all my kids, I used to live feed my kids' sports. I used to pretend I was a broadcaster. I'd be like, oh, he's doing it. They were doing water polo, swimming, soccer, hockey, track. What else did they do? One guy was doing wrestling. I mean, we did a lot of sports. Don't think baseball, no. And so I would pretend I would be like a newscaster. Be blah, 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 blah. All of those, like 10 years of my kids' stuff is gone. Even our vacation pictures, all gone. So here's a word of advice. Whatever you do on any of these platforms, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, I don't care, MySpace, whatever. Make sure you keep a copy of everything on your phone, because it can happen in an instant. I was trying to appeal the deactivation. It was a deactivation. That was when Biden was president. I posted something about Biden in Hawaii when the fires happened. It was a true story, but Biden was working with Zuckerberg, so they were banning everybody. Actually, they were deactivating accounts. Anybody that said something critical about Biden got deactivated. That was me. And I lost all of my family pictures. I'm talking about close to 15, maybe 20 years on Facebook of family stuff. Trips, reunions, graduations, plays, events, you name it. You name it. Everything. I used to be a field rep at the union. All of my work at the union, gone. Instantly gone. Instantly. Yeah. You can imagine 15 years, right? It is what it is. Hope you're enjoying the sunset. TikTok, sorry, I'm gonna have to move you around once in a while. There you go. There you go. I got 2 nuggets left. I had 2 already, 2 more. That's tangy barbecue. It's actually pretty good. Can't beat that. This is the $6 meal. Can't beat it. No idea where I'll go tonight. I'll probably shut down all the broadcasts. Right? Let me close my window, give you guys some privacy. Sunset. That's a good boyfriend there. He's smart. There's a couple just drove up, a young couple. He's a smart kid. Beautiful up here. I'll show you. Don't say I did this. See, nice couple there. Young couple. They're smart. Yeah. I'll show you guys on TikTok. See that? Smart couple there, huh? Cool. Cool young couple, huh? They know what's cool out here, huh? Stay away from the chaos. Well, we go into chaos. Oh man, I lost a fry there. It's nice to see young people that enjoy cool stuff. They need to teach young people. I know I usually don't talk during this, but I was just commenting, a young couple just pulled up to me next to me, and I closed my windows to give them a little privacy. They're checking out the sunset. But I'm going to say, I used to teach at a high school, Hyde Park Career Academy. I used to teach carpentry. Yeah, I'm eating dinner right now. I got French fries at the bottom of the bag and I'm grabbing them. You know how sometimes the French fries fall out of the whatchamacallit? Well, I'm grabbing them. I'm a little hungry. And, you know, I had some of the rougher kids in the school. And they'd be doing acting up and doing whatever, right? Man, it's all greasy. I drop grease on these. That's bogus. But I'm pulling out the ketchup. I probably shouldn't do that, but whatever. It is what it is. And so, once in a while, I would talk to these kids. I mean, they were my students. So. I had looping, so I had my kids for 3 years. You know what looping is, right? You have the same students, so I had the same students for 3 years. So I try to weed them out that first year, because that was only a single period. So, juniors and seniors were double periods, so I didn't want to have the guy 2 periods if he was acting up and didn't want to be in the class. I kind of coached him out of it, right? So, some of these guys would be acting up, acting foolish, and whenever I talked to them and stuff, I'd be like, why are you acting foolish and stuff? Doing all this foolishness in the class, whatever it was. It is all, you think of whatever can happen in a high school class, it happened in my class, including fights and beatings. I had the rough class, right? So these kids, TikTok, I gotta move the camera. Sorry, TikTok, I gotta move the camera. It tells me I gotta move the camera. So here I'm sitting in a garage, watching the sunset. We're listening to soft trumpet music. I'm posting stuff. I just ate some chicken nuggets there. Oh, here, you want to see where's the original? Here, I want to show you this. I don't think I've ever showed this to anybody. These are my parking permits for news. You want to see this one? Oh, I don't. That's a disability. Oh, I didn't. I usually had my original one from 2014. That's 12 years old. Yeah, I can't walk good, so I have a disability kind of. That's kind of messy there. So I would ask these kids, and they were smart kids. All my students were smart. I had some of the best students in my class. I mean, some of them were gang leaders, members. Some of them killed people, whatever. They were smart. So, I asked these kids once in a while, I said, you come into my class and then you act up, whether they talked loud, fooled around in their chairs, whatever it was, right? You know, everybody been in high school. If you're from America, everybody has to go to high school. High school is compulsory in America. Everybody knows that in other societies, high school isn't compulsory. My wife is from Japan. Her dad didn't go to high school. You have to pay for high school in Japan. It's not compulsory. So her dad never finished high school. He never went to. It's not, other countries aren't like America, man. And I think it's worse in other countries like Africa. I don't even think elementary school's like compulsory. You got to pay for it, I think. I might be wrong. I know some guys who run some schools, but they're private schools in Africa. One in Cameroon, one in Ghana. And I just made friends with a guy in Morocco. Is that a country, Morocco? Or is it Tunisia? That's where I'm going, actually. He invited me. He's an off-roader, and that's how I met him. He says, if I wanted to, I can go there, and I can live there for the rest of my life. I don't have to do shit else. It's in the desert, though. There ain't nothing out there. It's like desert. Like real desert. Not like fake desert. It's the real desert, right? Like the ones that you see in the movies. Those ones. So, going back to my story about my kids, my students, I go, man, so you come into class, and you do all this tomfoolery and whatever, blah, 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 right? I said, why do you come to class, man? I said, why do you come here if you come here to disrupt, right? I didn't get it, right? When I grew up, and I was a teenager, If I didn't want to go to class, I didn't go to class. I'm going to tell you this. In our high school, because my mom and dad got divorced, I ended up going to Oak Lawn High School. I used to live on 28th and Spalding in Chicago. My mom and dad got divorced and she had to get out of the house. She couldn't afford the house anymore. They sold it and they wanted too much rent. We were living in a little village. She couldn't find a place in Chicago. There's another story about something else. I'll tell you why we physically had to move. But she ended up out there, right? It was a bad divorce, blah, blah, blah. And at my high school, you could smoke. We used to smoke in the lunchroom outside. Yes, I went to high school in 1986. I graduated from high school. So 1982, in my high school, we could smoke outside the cafeteria. There was the track field over there. If you ever been to Oak Lawn High School, the track field's right there next to, I don't know if it still is. That's, 40 years ago, right? So we used to smoke out there and whatever. I ain't gonna say anything else. I don't want to incriminate myself and I don't want to incriminate no teachers, right? So most of them are passed away anyways. So that's the mindset that I had. If I didn't want to go to class, I wanted to do something. I was in high school, I did whatever I want. So here I am, a teacher, blah, 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 inside the inner city, 63rd and Stony Island, right? I grew up on the rough side, or whatever, right? So then I would talk to these kids and I would say, and it would be one-on-one. And I said, man, you come into class, you disrupt, you yell, you sometimes throw books, whatever you do, man, whatever, right? And I said, why do you do that? And they would look at me with a strange look. And they go, what do you mean? I said, well, it seems like you don't want to be in here because you come in here late, you throw things, you yell things, whatever, right? So, to me, as the adult and somebody who grew up and went to high school, I understand high school, I understand all of that stuff. Why do you come to class? And again, the kid would say the second time, what do you mean? I gotta be in school. I said, no, you don't. You don't need to be in school. And I can say this now. I haven't been in that classroom for many years, so you don't know who I talked to. You don't know when I talked to you. And you couldn't turn me into what I said, right? So you can't incriminate me. That's a long, long time ago. So I said, you don't need to be in high school, and technically that's the truth. There's compulsory education in Illinois. Up until 17, I believe, you have to go to school. But no one can force you to go to school. The truant officer has to pick you up, but there is none. So I would say, yeah, you really don't have to be here, and you come here and you disrupt. So that was the third time I would say that to them, and they would be quiet. And I said, so why? And he goes, because I like your class. And I said, dude, man, you like my class? Here, I got TikTokers. I got to move you around. So here we're live feeding on Facebook. Facebook don't make me move around. I have this one here. I do my downloading and uploading. So if I have something that goes here or on TikTok or like, and then my music is playing right there. You see that here? I'll show you what music. I use AI music because AI music is not copyrighted. There's a bunch of it on YouTube. There. See that? That's not copyrighted music. And that's a good one. They got all kinds of music. It's pretty cool. Then it plays through my Bluetooth, and then I do posting on there. So I'll upload, download. See, it says now visibility restricted. Right, visibility restricted, right? I'm doing a sunset video. That's what I'm doing. I gotta give this explanation to TikTok. Appeal admitted. So they say I have limited visibility now on TikTok. Whatever. So who cares? So with these kids, the kid would finally say this: I like your class. And I would be befuddled, right? And I'm like, well, what? And I would be like puzzled, right? And I'd be like, what do you mean you like my class? See the airplane there? You can see airplanes here. See that there? That's the airport. See that there? So you can watch airplanes taking off. There you go. How do you do? I mean, I don't know how to control this TikTok. This TikTok is everywhere. One new message. I don't know how to do TikTok. All right, there we go. There's planes taking off. So I'd be like, what do you mean you like my class? You come to my class, you tell me to F off, you throw some books, you stir loud, you do some weird stuff in class, blah, 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 right? I am. Oh man, that was loud. There you go, somebody blew off an M80 over there. That was scary, man. I just jumped out of my seat. I got scared. That was wild. My heart's pumping there. Woo! I must be getting older. That was wild, man. TikTok, if you limited my viewership, you missed that one. that was pretty. Who got scared there? Hey, Miss Zedor, did you get scared there? Miss Zedor, did that scare you? It scared me. We're getting older, right? Here I'm laughing now. Yeah, because I was scared. I'm like, whoa, somebody shooting at my ass? Did somebody backdoor me up to the parking lot? They shooting at me? Alrighty. So, so back to my story about the students. I'm like, you like my class, but you do all of this weird stuff here when you come in. And they're like, well, but I like you. I like what you do. I like being in here. It's the coolest class in the whole school. You're a cool teacher. And I say, well, then don't do what you're doing. And they'd be looking at it and say, what do you mean? To them, and this is what I figured out, and this is 2Ds for certain students I had, right? And I'll say this, right? To them, getting negative attention was attention. I don't know if you guys understand what that means. I gotta move this thing around, right? For a TikTok, right? Because it says I'm banned or blocked or whatever. Whatever. Yeah, I am. Who cares? TikTok's TikTok. I don't care. I've been deactivated on multiple platforms. So I realized this. For some of these kids, negative interactions with their families or whoever they were was the only interaction they ever had. So yelling, screaming, threats was the way they got attention. Whether it's because they had big families, some of them had dysfunctional families. I had kids that had dead parents. I had a couple of kids that their moms were hookers, drug addicts. I had all of that stuff. You name it, I had it, right? Dead, in prison. I had kids that their families were in prison, their dad or their mom. I had a lot of my kids, maybe about half of my kids were living somewhere else. They were not living at mom and dad's house. And most of them, there was a few, I would say about 20 to 30%, they actually had two-parent families. But most of them, about 70 to 60% of my students had single-parent or no-parent families. I had some that were living on the street and living on their own on top of it. So for them, I figured this out. Attention, no matter what it was attention. And they learned by seeing in their environments that negative attention got you attention. So someone screaming at you or someone hitting you, someone yelling at you, someone calling you a bad name, someone throwing something at you was actually a form of affection for them, or they felt affection. And I don't know what I'm talking about because I'm not a psychologist, but I figured this one out. Now, I don't act that way. I don't do that way, and I don't believe in that. But I realized that that's the behavior. Then when I read some books on it, and I was all young and shit, and I'm sorry to use my bad words. I was all young and stuff, so I was reading all these psychology books. I'm like, what's going on? Because, I'm teaching in this class. I was never a teacher. I was when I started teaching, what was I, in my late 30s? I was a career changer, so I'm trying to figure out how to be the best teacher. And that's what I figured out. Their perception of affection and attention, and both of them are different, was whatever you can get. even if it was throwing, beating, or swearing, that meant that somebody cared about you and talked about you, or whatever it may be, right? I'm not a psychologist. I can't explain with fancy words, but that's what I realized with these kids. And then I would tell them, oh man, what's happening? Is it turning off? Drag puzzle piece into place. There you go. I don't know. It keeps turning this thing up. TikTok is weird, man. There you go. That's what I'm listening to. Soft trumpet music. We're doing that. We're watching the sunset and I'm talking. I don't know what else you do on TikTok, man. I'm not putting my face on. I don't like putting my face on. No. I don't do my face on. I don't do the talking thing on social media. Appeal approved. There you go. Oh man, look at that. Appeal approved. We reviewed and approved the appeal. Visibility of your live has been restored in recommendation and search results. Okay, there we go. See, I said we're doing a sunset. So those of you just tuning in, we're on a roof, or we're in a parking garage watching the sunset. We're listening to jazz music. We're live feeding on Facebook. And I'm talking about when I was a teacher at Hyde Park Career Academy, teaching carpentry, and I was talking to students when they used to act up in my class. And this is a really long story about what I'm about to get to. That's not even the main part of the story here. That's not why I've been telling that story. The main part of the story is this. And I think I can say this because I'm not a teacher anymore. I don't know. I said, there's no reason for you to come into my class and disrupt it. You don't have to come to school. And if you don't want to be here, you can go be outside. And I was at Hyde Park Career Academy. If anybody knows that's Jackson Park. We're 2 or 3 blocks from the lake. I said, man, if I grew up and I went to high school at Hyde Park, I'd be at the lake every day. I might be at the lake in the morning, lake at lunch. We used to have lunch time at our high school. We could go out for lunch. I'd be out at the lake at lunch, and I'd be out at the lake afterwards. And they're looking at me. I said, why aren't you doing that? If you don't like a class, or if you're acting up, and if you're getting in trouble in school, why aren't you doing the cool things that you want to do? That don't mean you have to drop out. That don't mean you hate school. That just means you're adjusting your behavior. Why? So you're not getting in trouble in school, because some of these kids would get in all these troubles with other teachers, right? They crack the whip, blah, 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 get suspended, whatever. I suspended kids too. It is what it is. You have to use that. So they were looking at me and they said, oh. I said, yeah, no one told you that? And this is how it links to what we're doing tonight. Don't you ever look at the sunset? And this is what I told the kids, a couple. Don't you ever go to the lake? And this is the saddest part of this story. Some said no. 3 blocks from the lakefront, some kids never went to the lakefront. They never drove a nice car. They never seen a nice sunset. You see the plane up there? That's a plane taking. Anybody ever go just check out planes taking off from an airport? You heard about the train, the biggest steam locomotive. It just came through Illinois. It's coming through Illinois. You ever watch trains? You ever watch planes? You ever go see boats? You ever go to a park and just chill out? They didn't realize that. That's what I was telling them, and that's how it matches to what we're doing tonight. So I run around doing crime scenes, beatings, stabbing. Somebody was just stabbed at the Blue Line today. What happened earlier today? It was another crime. I don't remember all the crimes. I mean, I've been live feeding live feeding for 5 hours. I live feed at 4 p.m., so I've been live feeding for 4 hours. And they couldn't get that. And this is what I realized, the other part of that. And that's why I do this now more often. And I got like a great viewer of mine, Ms. Zidor. I have, see that? See Ms. Zidor there? Ms. Zidor, I'm showing you now on TikTok. See that there? I don't know how you go. It's Ms. Zidor. She's a great viewer on Facebook. Right? Here, you want to see another great viewer? You want to see some cool cooking stuff? Merida James, right there. She's on Facebook. And this is what I realized. After I had that conversation 2-3 times, I gotta focus that, right? I keep moving around the TikTok video because I don't want to get banned, right? How do you get that? How do you get it to? Can I get it to focus again? That's weird. Can it focus? Now it's all out of focus. It's weird. There we go. Now we're back to TikTok. So I realized this. No one ever taught them to relax. And look, you can say they need discipline, they need to be locked up, they need the church, they need God, they need a father and mother, whatever, blah, 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 blah. Who cares? I came to the conclusion of dealing with a few of these students that they didn't know how to relax. No one taught them to see a sunset. You know, I used to take vacations a lot. We used to go to Hawaii. When I had a lot of money, I used to have a lot of money. I made a lot of money at one time. I am broke. I ain't making nothing. I'm making some TikTok money. I don't even think TikTok pays me. Facebook pays me some money. It barely pays my gas for my car. But I used to make enough money. I'll tell you this. I used to have a car expense more than I make from Facebook. Pure car expense. Meaning all my expenses for my car were paid for, including gas and including maintenance on my car for the job I had. That's just that, and that wasn't my salary and other expenses. So the point I want to make here is this. So I used that money when I was raising my children. I have 4 children. They're all adults. They're in their 20s, mid-20s now. And I used to take vacations. And I've been to Hawaii 6 or 7 times, I think. 6 or 7 times. I don't remember. I've been to Japan 3 or 4 times. And all my kids been to Japan 3 or 4 times. My kids been to Hawaii. My kids been on vacations everywhere. But I'll tell you this. And this is why I'm closing my windows so you hear what I'm about to say. Right? I'm closing my windows because I got the windows open. And then I'll put them down again. When I used to be in Hawaii, one of the things we did is 2 things, but one of the main things is we watched the sunset every day. Every day when I was in Hawaii, we ended our day with the sunset. My kids were with me, and they were jumpy, man. They were 2 years old, 3 years old, 7 years old. They were jumpy kids. But every day, and they could jump into water and do whatever they want. And sometimes say, hey man, just chill out and watch the sunset. So every night, we would watch the sunset together as a family. So I taught them how to relax. We would have movie night. And I always say this to my Facebook viewers. I now have it on Tuesdays, but our movie night was Thursday night. And I think everybody that's watching, maybe you did this. You had game night, movie night, out night. And now we would watch movies. And this was my rule about movie night. I had 4 kids. And I was the 5th one. And sometimes my wife would participate. So, I'm turning down the music so you can hear me. So everyone got to pick a movie. So we wouldn't watch daddy's movies, right? Cowboys and Indian, blah, 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 right? No, every person, every week, it alternated. You got to pick the movie. So, one, right? You kind of get what I'm trying to say. I got to pick a movie. The next week, the next kid got to pick a movie. Then the next week, another kid. So in 1 month, everybody would pick a movie. And we did that every Thursday. I don't even know how many years we did that. We did that for 5, 6, 7, 8 years. Then they get older, they have to go to the sports. And you could do it right before they get into the sports stuff, right before high school, still before middle school. So every night, every Thursday was movie night. We had dinner together. I think Sundays we did something. I forget there was a special thing we did on Sundays. I told you about the sunsets when we were on vacation. So the point I'm trying to make here is these kids that were my students, and I pretty much think it's the same thing with the students that are now we're dealing with that have problems. And look, if they're criminals, they're criminals. You need to lock them up. I'm not saying carjackers and killers and rapists and all that get to go free and watch a sunset. I'm not talking about that. What I'm saying is this. Some people don't know how to relax. They don't know how to enjoy themselves. And they think maybe drinking or boozing or getting high or jumping on crap or whatever is cool. And that's fun. No, I'm just talking about chilling out, watching a sunset, watching a football game, taking a walk. We used to go hiking with my kids. We used to do all that kind of stuff. And I don't think people teach this. I put a post today on my Facebook, and I said, are we teaching character anymore in schools? Right? Are we teaching how to be a good person? Right? Are we doing that? I'm saying it seriously. Do we teach people how to be a good person? I ain't talking about Murder Teresa stuff. I ain't talking about the Pope. I ain't talking about that stuff, Martin Luther King or John F. Kennedy or Abraham Lincoln. Right? I ain't talking about that. I ain't talking about that stuff, right? I'm talking about every day doing the regular stuff. Take it easy, guys. Have a good night. I'm talking about just being a regular good person. So, two things. Today, earlier, I put on a video, a picture that says, be a good father or talk like a father. I don't know what it was, right? I'll get the picture. I said, are we teaching moral development anymore? Do we teach character development? Do we teach that anymore, right? Are we teaching how to be a good person? Again, I'm not talking about a saint. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about just living a life, going to work, paying your bills, being respectful. Here, this is what I put on my Facebook today. This is a memory from 4 years ago. See that? Look. What does it say there? Can you see that? Oh, man, whatever. It says, standing strong as a father. Right, here is on Facebook. I should standing. It's on my Facebook page. It's something from 4 years ago. I think. See there, standing strong as a father. That's what it shows, right? See that there? It's a graffiti. I think it's in Bronzeville. That one. It's over by. I think that one used to be over by Federal and 40th and Federal, right there. That one. I think that's by Federal. Yeah, that's by the viaduct over there. They're taking down train tracks. I think that's 40th, right? And Federal. There used to be a train that went down over there by Dawson Tech, Dawson Institute. So that's what I came up with today, because I seen that. I came up as a memory. I said, oh yeah. Do we teach character? Do we teach young people how to be a good person? Because you got to learn it. Because what happens? What did I say earlier in one of my videos? Kids learn how to be criminal. They learn how to be racists. They learn how to be evil. They learn how to be hurtful. Not as a baby. They learn it from the surroundings. You don't learn to be you're not born a racist. You learn to be a racist. I don't like that color. I don't like it, man. Whatever you say. Whether you do it intentionally or unintentionally, that's where kids learn it. So what I'm trying to get to here is, are we teaching that in school for kids to what? Be good people. And the second part of being good people, are we teaching them to sit back and watch a sunset? Are we teaching them how to go bowling? Remember bowling? How about going to a picnic? Taking a stroll in the park? Reading a book? Do people read books anymore? How about this? This is my generation. Do they read magazines anymore? Remember when we used to wait for the magazine to come out? There was a special magazine we read, and we wanted to get that one magazine or that one issue. See the plane going up there? Remember those days? We waited for a magazine every month, or there was a continuing story, or there was a special story coming up. Or maybe, do you remember when we would wait for that special TV show, and we had to wait a month for the TV show to come out? Or maybe there was every Sunday the comics that used to come out. Remember the comics that were in the newspaper every Sunday? We waited for something. We learned how to get something and value it. Whether it's good or bad, capitalism or not, well, I don't want to talk about that, right? What I'm talking about is learning how to be a good person, learning how to enjoy yourself, learning how to have a good time. That's what we're doing tonight. Whether you like it or not, whether you think this is corny or not, or whether you don't want to see it, or you want to see some killing videos or murder videos, and yeah, I'll probably go to a crime scene after this. Maybe we'll see. I don't know. I don't know where I end up. I'm far from where I live. I'm by O'Hare Airport. I live on 35th Street, 35th and Damon. So think about it. I'm by O'Hare, and I live on 35th and Damon. I'm pretty far from my house. So there's a lot of things that can happen between here and my house when I'm going home. But the point I'm trying to make here is two things. Are schools teaching how to be a good person, character development, morality. And I'm not talking about church stuff. I believe in the separation of church and state. If you want to do some praying in school, you got to figure out how to pray so it doesn't mess with any other religions. So if you want to pray in school, that's fine with me. If the parents are okay with it, that's fine. I'm not going to pray as a teacher because I don't know what these kids know. I don't want to insult somebody's religion, right? But I believe there should be some kind of a prayer. You can have some kind of a prayer, right? Like some kind of, oh, thank you for lunch, God, or thank you for what we're about to eat, or I give my blessings, or whatever it is. It'd be good to have a prayer for lunch. It'd be cool to have. But the point is, are we teaching morality? Are we teaching kids how to be good kids? Again, don't have to be Mother Teresa and God. And the second part of it, are we teaching them how to relax? Because look, whatever we do in our lifetimes, working, jobs, careers, even if you're a drug tycoon, whether you're Elon Musk or you're Donald Trump or even Brandon Johnson, anybody out there, right? Who cares? Sometimes the job defines you. Sometimes the family defines you. But we all do something for a reason. When you want to be rich, you want to be happy, you want to relax. And when I would have these discussions with these students, I said, well, you can relax right now. And they would look at me. I said, yeah, you can relax now. You can go to the lakefront and you can watch the waves and chill out. You can sit at that computer, because I used to have a computer lab, and relax and read what you want to read. I had a pretty open policy on what they could do in my class. But you don't need to act up. Blah, 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 blah. They go all crazy on me, and I said, no, man. And then it got to the point. And I'll tell you this. But when I would take days off of work, once in a while I heard a hernia once at work. I had to take a week or two off. I had some time off that I had to take from work, right? Whatever it was. I usually didn't. I didn't like taking days off. But if I did, I did. I would come back, and the substitute teacher would always come and leave a note. They would say, man, I could hear a pin drop all day in the classroom. And that's from teaching the kids that they were their own discipline makers. And that they can enjoy their time the way they wanted to, without being punished. I don't know if I'm making sense here, right? And I don't think that they teach these kids that anymore, right? What they teach is you can do anything you want. The world owes you. You're downtrodden, especially some of these social justice stuff now that's going on in the classroom, and they've been invaded. Our classrooms have been invaded by grievance curriculum, revolutionary curriculum. There's nothing wrong with being revolutionary. There's nothing wrong with having grievances. But when you teach a young person these things and they don't understand that, they don't understand what grievance is, they don't understand what revolution is, then they get confused, and then when they don't get what they want, they act out. They think they can rob people. They think they can carjack people. They think they can crash into a gas station to steal an ATM that's got 10 grand in it when they're causing maybe $30,000 to $40,000 in damages. They think they can sneak a gun into a hospital and kill some cops and thinks it's okay. It's a video game. It's not. Now you just ruined everybody's life, including yours. That's the point I'm trying to make here, right? That we're not teaching these kids morality, character development, how to be a good person, how to enjoy their life. And part of that enjoying their life is, what do you want to do? Well, I want to be rich. Okay, then you want to be rich, then you need to do the things to be rich. You want to be a rich tycoon drug dealer? You want to be a football player? You want to be a scientist? You want to be an airplane pilot? You want to be a business owner? Whatever it is, I could care less what you want to do. But then you have to do the things to get to that point. And like I said, when I wasn't in class and I was absent, my substitutes would write a note to me. I'd never been in a class so quiet. Never. And I had some substitutes that were teaching longer than me, 30, 40 years. So that's the point I wanted to say. That it's our responsibility, two things, to figure out what these schools are teaching our kids, because I think that's where most of the education is happening nowadays, because we don't have the other stuff, right? Because Boy Scouts been molesting, the church has been molesting, so all of those are like, people don't trust those entities anymore, right? So we fell on what? The school systems as the place to teach morality. And then what happened? Now you got these people in charge of the school system that want to fight the system, that they're anti-American, they're revolutionary, they want to destroy capitalism. And they say everybody's been abused and discriminated against, right? Like, okay, I guess. And what are you going to do next, right? What are you going to do next? So you've been abused, you've been discriminated against, whatever. Your great-great-grandfather was a slave, and I came over on the Mayflower and whatever. I was a Chinese guy on the railroad. I was an indentured servant. I'm an Indian on a reservation, and all my land was stolen from me. Okay, and I was a Jew. I survived the Holocaust. I mean, we could make the list on, right? We can make that list that goes forever, for eternity. It never ends. In the end, none of that matters, because it doesn't define who you are, or what you want to be. I guess that's where I'm going to on this, right? That we're not teaching that stuff. And I'm glad, I don't know how many people are watching me now. If there's no one watching me, that's fine, because I'm recording this, and I'm going to download it, and I'm going to upload it. These are my feelings on what's wrong with our educational system today. We're not teaching moral development and character development. And we're not teaching young people how to enjoy themselves. And part of enjoyment is working. Maybe you might not like your job. I get that. But you work because you want to buy something. So you say, I'll put in the 80 hours or 40 hours or 30 hours or whatever you do, or I'm going to wash these dirty dishes or pick up that pile of sod and plant it and it's 80 degrees out, or I'm gonna climb the ladder, or whatever work you do, whatever you end up doing in your lifetime or our lifetimes. If you don't like your job, all right, that's cool, but you like to get that money to get you to that place where you want to be happy. That's the point I'm trying to make. And I don't think we're teaching that to these kids anymore. We don't have that part of it, because that's the work ethic. That's where work ethic comes, right? You're a good person, you teach the person to be moral and good. The second part is you teach them how to relax. And when they want to relax, they have to have money, right? They have to get money from somewhere. Even if you have I talk to people that live in Mexico. I have family members that live in Mexico. You know what they tell me? I said, we don't need to work as much as in America, because it's not that expensive there. We do a little bit of this, we work 1-2 hours, and we can take the rest of the day off and have a siesta. I said, okay, but that's not America. Same thing in America. You work 8 hours or 40 hours, you get your check, now you can relax. We're not teaching that. We're missing that, and that's what the kids are missing. And I kind of know who did that. I'm very close to identifying, and I'm going to write some books and some papers on it. How did that change? How did we miss teaching our kids character? How did we miss teaching our kids how to have a good time? And how did we miss teaching them how to do the things they want so they can be happy? Whether it's having a family or whatever it may be, right? There's somebody coming up here, right? That's all I got. I don't know how long I've been on this live feed. I don't even, let me check. I'm gonna have to shut it down and I'll go do something else. That's a lot of talking. I wanted to get that off my chest. Because, it is what it is. It is my live feed, right? Let me check. Why don't we go to, it's 9:23. Why don't we do a few minutes of music? We're going to shut it down at 9:30. How about that? Is that cool? I appreciate everybody listening to me. I appreciate watching. I hope you understand why I do this. I want that whole explanation is about explaining why I do this. That's the whole explanation. I went through that whole talking to say that's why I do this. Even for me, I have to learn how to relax. So thank you. We'll listen to some music for 6 more minutes. It's 9:24 right now. Thank you very much for watching. Have a good night. It's 9:30 p.m. June 3rd, 2026. And thank you for listening. I always appreciate everybody that listens. Hope you have a safe night. You and your family. Whatever you're doing. Make sure you say a little prayer for whatever you need to say a prayer for, okay? It's always good to pray at night. I always ask, God, what did I do bad? And he'll say that, and I say, oh yeah, okay, I'll do better tomorrow. Have a good night. I love everybody. Appreciate you. Have a good night. It's 9:30, June 3rd, 2026. SubX.News signing off.